Okay, this is for those who wanted to know why Conan the Barbarian was such a high science movie. And why I said that it's the one that put me on James Earl Jones. You know, you got to look past the theatrics of it. If you get it, the beginning of the movie, they show you Conan's mom getting her head cut off by James Earl Jones. And that's to pull you into his point of view of the story. But you always got to remember there's two sides to every war. There's heroes on both sides of every war. And there's atrocities that are performed on each side of the war. But nevertheless, the science come in not only in the study of steel, but if you're looking at the historical basis of Conan the Barbarian and their overthrow of the ancient science of the Kundalini. This is the representation of the snake. And so they show James Earl Jones as the leader of the snake cult, right? And the problem here comes in when Conan gets caught by one of the European kings. He's mad because his daughter is following James Earl Jones, and he's like, she's following him like he has all the wisdom, like I couldn't give it to her. So there's an ego thing there for the kings of Europe, for these Europeans. And so he sends Conan to get his daughter back and kill Falsa Doom or James Earl Jones in this movie. So, you can start to follow along there. You can see where it comes in, where they're symbolically telling you that the ancient wisdom, was held by our people. This is why, if you notice, there's not too many Asiatics in the movie, but James Earl Jones got all these Europeans following him. And that's where the king is mad. Like, his brother got all these Europeans, especially his daughter, the European woman, on his jock. Right? And so there comes a point in the movie where Conan gets captured, and James Earl Jones is giving him the riddle of steel. See, the Europeans thought this actual steel itself was the power source. But what James Earl Jones taught him is it's not the steel itself that has the power, it's the hand that wields it. It's what he says. What is the power, of steel without the human hand that wields it? And he shows them a demonstration of power by making the European girl jump down from the cliff and sacrifice her life. And he gives them the high science right there. You can have all the weapons you want, but if you don't have the hearts and minds of the people, you'll never prosper. You can never be truly in control or have the power, right? And so, he crucifies Conan to the Tree of Woe. And we also got to look at who plays Conan, Arnold Schwarzenegger. This dude's a German, right? And so what was the German demonstration? That they was the superior race, right? And so you got this German actor, Conan, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, trying to kill the brother, the Asiatic brother, James Earl Jones, and the destruction of his culture and what he brought to the world. Because as you can see, they were showing you that we had went into Europe, and we had was civilizing these ones with high science. Of course, they portrayed it as a cult, and they gave you some cannibalistic things, all these crazy stuff to kind of get you tied into crazy thought pattern about but it's really a science. You know what I mean? And so the fact that James Earl Jones had enough science where he could transform his flesh. They had him transform into a snake, right? But once again, it's symbolic. Transforming the carnal flesh into flesh divine, or to Kundalini energy. The mastery of self. And this is why he couldn't kill him at first. And so the only way that Conan was able, or the European was able to defeat the brothers, what? He had to enlist some other Asiatics. He had to get the Mongoloid, the dude who shot the arrows, and the other Asian who played the wizard, who called upon his deities in order to bring Conan back to life. And the sacrifice was Conan's woman, right? And then he came back. And in that, with the focus, he was able to, in the end, take the head off of the knowledge by gaining or allies with those who we had taught, because you remember that the snake is all around the world. Asia, the Pacific Islands, everywhere in the world, the snake, the representation of the Kundalini energy. South America was the ancient knowledge. And the movie Conan shows the decapitation of that knowledge, the taking off the head of that and bringing forth this barbarian way of life. And so, if you get into it, look at the movie, you'll see it's all higher science, portrayed from a European perspective. It wasn't about him killing his mother. That's the plot. But the real understanding is these ones wanted to show theatrically the taking off of the capstone of the pyramid, or the taking off of our head of knowledge that we have brought to the world, and showing everlasting life, and showing the understanding of the Kundalini energy, and also the power of man, and over the material. The true power of man is his will and his passion. It's not the steel itself. It's not the material things itself. It's the hand that wields it. So, that's just a brief breakdown. But you can watch the movie. It's high science. It's a great movie, and it definitely put me on. That's why I don't think that they're posting enough about it, or even really presenting it on social media, because they want to show you him in The Lion King, where he dies as the king. They show you him as Darth Vader, where he's on the dark side. But there's no real high science to that demonstration, because they don't really show him. They have him covered. They want to show him as, King of Zamunda, which is showing the royalty. But that just shows him as royalty over our people. See, in Conan, it shows him as a ruler over the Europeans. And that's the secret.